Greetings everyone, and welcome to ASMR Gaming News. Please hit that like button, sit back, relax, and let's begin. So, we have a nice amount of news this week. First big piece of news is DICE put out a brand new trailer, a launched trailer for Battlefield 5, which is coming out on the 20th of November, so just a few days away from the release of Battlefield 5. And yeah, this new launch trailer is, of course, really nice. It shows off a lot of key features and areas in the game. If any of you remember, Battlefield 5 was originally delayed from its previous release date because they felt that certain aspects of the game were not finished. So they delayed it, continued on working on development, and it seems like DICE now has finished what they needed to do, so they're ready to launch the game. And I'm sure EA is very happy about this. So, curious to see if anyone in the comments is going to be picking up Battlefield 5. I know that a lot of people this year were excited for Battlefield 5 and Black Ops 4. So I'm just interested in seeing which one's going to be the more popular game. Traditionally, Battlefield games were always more I want to say, exciting in the sense that you can do a lot of things in the large maps in Battlefield games compared to the Call of Duty multiplayer side of games where basically the maps were smaller, you couldn't really use vehicles and stuff like that, but that's all changed now with Blackout. You can actually ride vehicles, there is a large map. So certain aspects of Battlefield 5 have been incorporated into Black Ops 4 in like a Battle Royale mode. So that's going to be interesting to see just how well Battlefield 5 sells. And it also is going to be having a Battle Royale mode sometime in the future. So yeah, definitely the time for Battle Royale games. But yeah, be sure to check out the trailer if you haven't seen it yet. Looks very, very nice. DICE are some of the best in terms of realistic graphics for their games. I remember when I picked up Battlefront on PlayStation 4 and was blown away by the detail in the environments, so they're really good at developing games. And speaking of Battle Royale games, the originator, or the game that basically made Battle Royale popular in the first place, even though it already existed previously, PUBG has now been officially confirmed to come out on PlayStation 4 on December 7th. So on the 7th of December, PUBG is going to be releasing on PlayStation 4. So after a long time of waiting, PS4 fans will finally get the chance to play this game. It was previously released on PC, mobile phones, and it also came out on Xbox One. Now the Xbox One version actually looks really bad in comparison to the PC version, so I'm curious to see if the PS4 version is going to look and run better than the Xbox version, or if it's going to be exactly the same. I hope it's more like the PC version. Hopefully that means that was the reason why it took so long to bring over to the PS4. But apparently Microsoft signed a licensing deal with the developers so they get like exclusive launch window rights for the PUBG game on console. So that's why it came out on Xbox first. But anyway, now it's coming out on PS4. And there's also going to be a special Uncharted 4 skin for PlayStation players. So if you like Nathan Drake, you're going to be able to dress your character in PUBG to look like Nathan Drake, so I guess that's kind of cool. I'm interested in checking out PUBG. I just hope it runs well on the PS4. Next, we have Kingdom Hearts 3. A brand new trailer came out for Kingdom Hearts 3. Every single week, it seems like we're getting a new trailer, and I'm very, very happy about this. This new trailer shows off the Winnie the Pooh world, 100 Acre Wood, and some additional like cutscenes and characters from other worlds and stuff like that. So yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Honestly, every single Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer that comes out just makes me more excited for the game coming out in January. Can't wait to play it. The character models look fantastic. The environments look great. This is going to be such a fun game to play. Highly recommend checking out the trailer if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, Sora, Donald, and Goofy having another great adventure all together. So this is gonna be great. Next, we have some big news. Sony apparently leaked information and then confirmed it afterwards, but apparently they are not going to be at E3 next year, so Sony PlayStation will not be having a press conference at E3 2019. Now this comes as a big shock to everyone because for years, like every single year, Sony is always at E3. But this year apparently they're not going to be there. So people are really like surprised by this. Sony came out and confirmed this information as well. Apparently they were going to wait until later to reveal this, but they had to do it now. So I'm sure some marketing guys are kind of upset at that over at Sony. But basically what people are saying is going to happen is there's been a lot of like rumors and leaks that certain games like Death Stranding, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and The Last of Us 2 are going to be like multi-generational games. Similar to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild that came out on the Wii U and on the Nintendo Switch. People are saying that maybe a PlayStation 5 is in the works and Sony is going to be having Death Stranding, Last of Us 2, and a lot of other big first-party games come out on the same day for different systems. Now, this has not been confirmed, this is just a rumor. But then you had a lot of journalists with friends that work at certain game companies, and they began asking them questions. And a lot of news came out from certain companies. They can't disclose their names or anything like that, but they confirmed that PlayStation 5 dev kits, so developer units for creation of PlayStation 5 games, have been shipped out, and certain development studios actually have access to PlayStation 5 hardware to start creating games on. So that's crazy if true. And what they're saying is that the PlayStation 5 is going to be announced sometime in the middle of next year, and then there's going to be a special launch press conference near the end of the year. People are speculating that it's going to be at PlayStation Experience possibly, but either way, yeah, this basically means that next year there's not going to be an E3. Sony feels like they need to have their own press conference separately at a later date, where they're going to announce the PlayStation 5, and then possibly maybe a reveal of the system or something like that, a release date. And everyone and all the information is pinpointing at the year 2020, so by 2020 the PlayStation 5 should be out, and we should be getting an announcement next year. So It's crazy to think that the PlayStation 4 generation is almost over. Honestly, it feels like it just started, like the games just started getting good, but usually video game generations last like 5 to 6 years, so it's been a while, so it's gonna be nice to get some new hardware. So I'm curious to see what Sony announces in the future, but yeah, this is some crazy information that just came out of the blue, you know, all this news this week. And let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, and Jeff Keighley announced all the nominees and nominations for the Game Awards that's going to happen later. And let me tell you, there are a lot of nominees for the Game Awards. You can actually go and vote on your like favorite games and streamers and stuff like that on the official like website. I believe you have to sign up. And there are a lot of nominations like Best Action Game, Best RPG, Best Fighting Game, Best Multiplayer Game, Best Esports Player, Best Twitch Streamer, stuff like that. They have Pokimane, Myth, Ninja nominated for Best Twitch Streamer. I think Ninja is definitely going to win that. He is probably the most popular Twitch streamer this year, so I think he might be getting the award. And for Game of the Year, they have 6 nominations. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead Redemption 2 are all nominated for Game of the Year. Personally, I think that Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably going to win Game of the Year, but there is a chance that maybe God of War or Spider-Man could win, just because those are great games as well. So, really curious to see what's going to win Game of the Year at the Game Awards. Let me know in the comments who you think's going to win. I'm curious to see what everyone thinks is going to be the winning Game of the Year. And yeah, next we have some fun news. The Detective Pikachu trailer came out and it has like 40 million views or something by now, I think. It just blew up. Everybody watched it. There's tons of reactions to it. And what this is, Nintendo, like in Game Freak, previously made this Detective Pikachu game on the 3DS, and it was different from other Pokemon games because it was a detective-style story, and the emphasis was on the detective aspects, and not the traditional, like, capturing Pokemon and fighting gym leaders like in other Pokemon games. So they decided to adapt this video game into an actual movie, live-action Hollywood movie, and they have Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu. And it's really funny because, you know, a lot of people know him in Deadpool, so it's basically Deadpool voicing Pikachu. So it was kind of like a bizarre situation when I first watched the trailer. I was like, wait, oh yeah, that's Ryan Reynolds, but I was thinking Deadpool at first. But yeah, it's really, really nice. All the Pokemon look very unique in CGI. Pikachu looks good. Certain other Pokemon like Jigglypuff look kind of scary in the trailer. Highly recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it yet. But what makes this unique is this is the first live-action Pokemon movie, and this is the second live-action Nintendo movie. Nintendo, basically after the failure of the Super Mario Brothers movie back in the early 90s, they completely abandoned movie making and using like their licenses for movies completely because it was such a failure and they never wanted to do that again. So this means that if this Pokemon movie does good, we might get a Detective Pikachu sequel. We might get a Legend of Zelda movie, a Super Mario Brothers like animated movie that's already rumored to be happening. So there's lots of great stuff that can come from this, and I'm excited. The general consensus from fans on the internet has been very, very positive. It seems like a lot of Pokemon fans are really happy about this and can't wait to see the movie. So yeah, I'm probably going to be watching it at the theater when it comes out. So definitely check out the trailer if you haven't seen it yet. Next, Blizzard developer, director of Overwatch, actually over at Blizzard, said that they are very open-minded about a Nintendo Switch release of the game. Now, I love Overwatch, and the fact that the developer, director of Overwatch, is open-minded about bringing Overwatch to the Switch makes me very happy. I think that would be a perfect game to play on the Nintendo Switch. If it can play on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, they can definitely release a downgraded version for the Switch. That would still be a lot of fun to play, so hopefully this means that in the future they might do something like this, especially since Diablo 3 is already on the Nintendo Switch as of right now. And next we have some sad news, actually. Primo Games, the company that made strategy guides for video games for over 28 years, announced this past week that they will be shutting down permanently. They had to let a lot of their staff leave, and this is all really sad. They've been around for 28 years, so that's a long time. If you ever walked into a GameStop or a video game store, you probably have seen video game books like guides, strategy guides, and basically for many, many years people would, they'd buy a video game, they'd buy a strategy guide for some help, and if they needed to get past a certain level or a boss, or if they needed to find a weapon or an item, you'd buy a strategy guide and it would help you in the game. And apparently in the past few years, sales have been declining in strategy guides. Less and less people are buying them. And the reason for this is because of YouTube and other video game websites out there on the internet. Because instead of buying a book to look at, information, people will just go on YouTube and look up for a tutorial on how to do something, or they'll post on a forum asking for help in a video game. So, little by little, the sales have started to decline, and I guess Prima just decided to completely shut down their strategy guide, area. So, it's sad, but it happens, after a while, things move on. Magazines used to be extremely popular, and now barely anyone under like 30 buys magazines anymore, so the world changes, I guess. So yeah, it is kind of sad news. I used to buy some strategy guides just because of the artwork and like developer interviews and like bonus information they would put in there. So it's kind of sad to see them die out like this, but yeah. Next, we have some information. The creator of Five Nights at Freddy's announced that they're going to be porting HD, like remastered, enhanced versions of Five Nights at Freddy's games to the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. So what this means is very soon, possibly next year, I'd say. They have no release date yet, but on the Switch, PS4, and Xbox One, you're going to be able to play the Five Nights at Freddy's games. I assume they're going to release them in order or something like that, but yeah, I guess if you're a fan of the series, you're going to be able to play the game on console now, so there's definitely a market for that. I bet the Switch version is going to sell very well when it launches. Next, we have a rumor. Platinum Games is making secret video games. So, Hideki Kamiya mentioned that Platinum Games is working on 3 games, and one of them is Bayonetta 3. So, what could the 2 other games possibly be? Well, we don't know, but they are working on 2 other video games. Now, apparently, they are for the Nintendo Switch. We just don't know if they're exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. But either way, this is awesome. Platinum Games are very, very talented developers, so anything that they make has my interest. So can't wait to see what these other 2 special games they're developing are. And last piece of news, Reggie Fils-Aimé, president of Nintendo of America, mentioned in an interview that Metroid Prime 4 is proceeding well in development, and that they currently have a release window for the game. Now, it's not public information, it's, kept a secret over at Nintendo, but possibly next year we could get some information about Metroid Prime 4 and a release date, so very excited for that. Can't wait for Metroid Prime 4 to come out on the Switch. That's gonna be so much fun. And the fact that they have a release window right now, at least according to Reggie, means that the game is proceeding smoothly in development. We will probably get an announcement at E3 or another Nintendo-related game event of some kind next year. So, good news, good news. And yeah, that wraps up all the news for this week, or all the big important news. Hopefully you found this ASMR Gaming News video relaxing. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know what your favorite piece of news was this week. And I'll be sure to have a new ASMR gaming video out very soon. So, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate all the comments, all the likes. You're all awesome. And yeah, thanks again for watching. And I'll see you all next time. So long, and